This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WynnBET has what you need to win. So sign up today. You bet $100 and win $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. All right, D-Gens, welcome back. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with the God of Golf himself, Steve Shermer, and very special guest, as always, Mr. Andy Lack for the Mayakoba. Andy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great, guys. I told you I've been battling a little bit of a runny nose and sore throat for the past couple of weeks. Been moving into this new apartment, so you see I'm just starting to hang up some pictures. I don't have my regular background, but I am kind of excited for this golf course and this event. I would not say that I like this golf course, but what I do like about it is that it has a distinct character to it that I think can be conducive in terms of the way narratives that we're maybe attempting to formulate this week. And it's a much better field than the Butterfield. So
I mean, you and Steve golfing was almost the Butterfield field.
Right. So as far as fall swing events go, as somebody who probably hasn't done a lot of consuming the fall swing, I get pretty into football. I'm tepidly excited to talk about this one with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty top-heavy field. A lot of good names at the top. You know, I mean, I think just kind of how these PGA Tour events are kind of go, like once you get past like first like 10, 15 guys, it starts getting a little shallower though. But no, I agree with you. I don't think like golf course-wise, this is all that exciting. But yeah, no. I mean, like, you know, there's some interesting trends that I found like when I did my preview and everything. And if the wind does get up, it can get a little interesting, especially around some of those like little shorter par threes, like by the beach there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like it's nice to see, like, you know, Cal Morikawa, I think was a surprise in this field. I was surprised to see him. I mean, obviously we usually see, you know, Finau and Hovland and Horschel and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of breaking this down. So I guess why don't we just lead it off as far as like, you know, what are you looking for this week? I mean, I noticed that, you know, when I did start, you know, some of my research that basically a lot of the things I looked at Bermuda, probably just going to look at this week. Just we have a little bit of a better field. So what about you? What are some of the things you're looking at this week?
Can I just ask him something real quick first?
Sure.
So you see, you don't really like the golf course. Is it because it's a Norman design and you have the?
Well, I just don't think he's. I just don't think he's a talented designer, and this is like not any.
But isn't this one of his best designs though?
Yeah, but there's a cave in the middle of a fairway.
Well, so sure, which speaks to like how bad of a designer he is.
Sure. I think it's one of the better pieces of property that he's had access to, but I don't think that he did an impressive job with the land. I mean, he has a tendency, in my opinion, to really not have an eye for interesting green sites and interesting green contours. I just don't think he's talented in spotting that out or using the natural land to create interesting green contours. He tends to over bunker his courses a lot, where it's just like, dude, like you're not really creating any new strategy to this hole having 6 bunkers there. Right. And so personally, I don't really have a ton of respect for him as a designer, but I like this golf course in the sense that I think it's an interesting golf course for PGA Tour play. I think this is a more interesting golf course for PGA Tour play, actually, potentially than last week at the Bermuda, because I think that this golf course actually, what you do off the tee here really matters. And I think there are a lot of golf courses like TPC Summerlin and Bermuda. And maybe you quibble with this, Steve, because I would actually go in the different direction and say that I see a couple stark differences between here and Bermuda. But what I like about this golf course in terms of at least for PGA Tour play is I do think that it asks you some interesting questions off the tee. And I think there are a lot of courses on the PGA Tour schedule where what you do off the tee has absolutely zero relevance. And I do think this is a course that places some emphasis on what you do off the tee. So sorry for rambling. I could do another 45 minutes on why I don't think Norman is particularly impressive.
I was just trying to bait you into a Norman take. That's all.
Well, can I ask you guys, can I turn it back on you for a question real quick? Did you guys know that Liv is taking this golf course? Did you guys know that?
I heard something on the Shotgun Start today that they're gonna basically, this is gonna be like their Mexico site.
Yeah. What are your
I mean,
thoughts that we're
well,
losing?
what I was thinking too,
Mayakoba?
what I was thinking about last week too is like, I mean, this might be the last time we see Bermuda because they're changing the schedule. I don't know exactly how they're going to do the whole qualification of keeping your card or not in the fall. I don't know if they're going to keep it. So it doesn't really surprise me that this might be the last time we see Mayakoba. And if Liv is just going to take it, I mean, I can't imagine the PGA Tour is going to want to go.
What are we going to do without that weird fucking lizard trophy? I mean, what are we going to do? I mean,
how do we place in context Victor Hovland's excellence?
Exactly.
What do we do?
Exactly.
What does it all mean?
What does it all mean? It's past Palom, so I mean, he's got to win again this week, right? I mean, we got to bet him at.
I mean, he is the reigning king of past Palom right now.
Yeah. Do you guys like past Palom? Have you ever played on past Palom?
I've never played on it. It sounds like
no. I went to the Canary Islands for my honeymoon, and I know they have a bunch of past Palom courses there, but I think the one I stayed at was Bermuda. So I have not played past Palom though. But I mean, I know just it's like Velcro. It's a good grass for resorts just because it ball basically just sticks on the green. Yeah, and like it's salt tolerant too, and so it's
but doesn't it sit up nice on past Palom?
Yeah, on the rough and in the fairways. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you get really nice lies chipping out of past Palom rough,
right?
Comparative to other roughs.
That sounds amazing to me.
Doesn't sit down like Bermuda,
chipping out of Bermuda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what you're used to in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking like why has Hovland had maybe some success at past Palom? Because it's not just here. I mean, he won Puerto Rico, won this twice. He finished, I think, 4th at Yas Links last year. That was past Palom too. He's got a lot of good finishes. I think possibly it could be. I was thinking about around the green, where like you can chip on it, but once the ball kind of hits the green, it kind of stops.
100%.
A problem with him is like you can run the ball a lot farther past it, and like now he's all right. The ball stops. Now he's only got like 5 feet per par, 5 feet per birdie. Like I think that kind of helps him. He's a really good putter too, and especially how great of an iron player he is. I mean, if he just is lights out with his irons, the ball's just going to stick. So that might be kind of why he's been so good here on this on this type of surface.
100%. I think that's a good take, Steve. I agree with that. I think that past Palom greens are generally they make a lot of things easier, but short game certainly, because these greens are so soft and receptive that I just don't think that the degree of difficulty around the greens here is very high. Even if you short side yourself, like these bunkers aren't very deep, and even if you short side yourself, like you're not going to have those chips on this golf course where you're just like dead if you mess on a certain side of the green, because even if you have 5 yards of green to work with, you're basically chipping off of like a pretty easy lie in the rough where you still should be able to get under the ball and get the ball to stop on the green. So I totally, around the green was not something I was looking too heavily at this week.
No. And like, I mean, the data golf has like the relative skill set chart, and that's something where just, it's kind of random, around the green game. Same thing with kind of putting too. It seems like, I mean, to win this event, it seems like the last 5 winners, you generally haven't been able to putt. Like, Hovland's a good putter, Brendan Todd, Kuchar, Kazire was riding a hot putter when he won. Pat Perez had one of his better putting years when he won. So that seems like that's kind of a difference between like winning and losing. But I mean, kind of like with short game and putting, because I think a lot of guys are kind of shortish putts most of the week. It's something like, I definitely focus more on like your performance under 150 yards. I agree with you. You do have to drive the ball pretty well this week. I did notice though, I looked at a lot of highlights. So I was trying to figure out like, for years, I always thought like this was kind of a less than driver course, but pretty much every driver. Every highlight I saw of like Brendan Todd or Finau, like they're all hidden drivers here. And like, I think like you think like, okay, you got, it's about 40 yards between the mangroves, kind of narrow fairways. You don't really want to hit it there because it's basically a lost ball, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing with the greens. Once the ball hits the turf with a past palm, it just kind of stops. So it kind of makes it a little wider, just like hitting there too. And like everything's kind of just dead straight in front of you. So yeah, I think just the ability to hit the driver really well, long and straight can help, or even just hitting the fairways help. And then it's kind of a shorter approach shots this week. That's basically kind of what I was looking for. That's why I was saying like, that was kind of the formula I used last week, is kind of that Joe area. That's what I meant by I kind of borrowed a lot of the stuff I looked at this week to this week.
Yeah. And maybe I should have factored more off the tee in last week because my guy, Ben Griffin, just felt like he had the yips off the tee in the final round. So maybe that's something I should have looked at more closely.
Did you have an outright on him?
I did. Yeah. And listen, it was I have not been huge on the fall swing. I've done my commitments for the podcast and my articles, but I'm a one screen guy currently. Hopefully I'd get another TV, but like, I love the NFL.
You make enough money where you can go buy another TV, like $300 at Costco. You get like a
I'm going to get another TV. Like I love the NFL. Like truly am just a massive, massive NFL fan. And so I haven't had a ton of room for fall swing golf.
The shit events. You can say it.
The shit events. But, you know, Ben Griffin had a 2-stroke lead with, you know, 9 holes to play. Yeah. 9 holes to play. And I'm going to win $2,000 on this guy, which is more than any of my football events. Like we'll tune in and, oh my God, that was a fucking car crash in slow motion. It was so funny and we'll sorry for derailing us a tiny bit, but it was one of those, you know, a lot of times when you see guys eject, it usually happens on one hole where it's just like, oh my God, this fucking hole. Like this guy is dead after this. And the interesting thing about Ben Griffin was it was such a fucking slow burn. And what would happen is he made 4 bogeys in a row. And after every bogey, it was like, man, somebody needs to like go up to this guy and just be like, hey dude, you're like not actually out of the tournament. Like he made 3 bogeys in a row and he was 1 back. Yeah. Right. And then he made another one. And it's like, and then he lays up into water on the par 5 on 16 when he's 1 back. It's like, dude, you could still, he made 4 bogeys in a row and still had a great chance to win the tournament. But he lost the plot. Anyway.
I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of bad golf on the back 9 at the Bermuda.
It's not like Seamus was lighting the
I know
Seamus
Seamus was leaking oil too.
I know.
And like, I was like, he might fuck this up. And I was like,
I was wondering because I like everybody else, I bet Dietrich. I'm like, is Dietrich gonna back into a win here? Like these guys are both leaking oil. And then
him and Patrick Rogers kind of looked for a second there, like, oh my God, if they could post 19, who knows?
No, listen, as somebody who has lost a ton of money on Dietrich, I knew damn well that shit was not cashing. Like, that's just not it. Like, he's not it. He's not that guy.
Are you guys going back to him this week?
Not for an outright. But
no,
I don't even know if I like the position. I mean, we'll talk about him. I mean, I think there's things to like about him. But for an outright, though, no, just because I'm just going to be perfectly honest. Like, just seems like top of the board is just hitting.
Yeah,
every single week.
Sure does.
I think
it's
I'm
awful.
just.
Gross.
I think I'm just resigned to this point. That like if you have like 5 or 6 like really big names, a lot of win equity, I'm just going to go to them. And you know what? I always have an opportunity to lie bet if I really want to. Or if I like a guy down the card, I'm just going to take a positional on him and see what happens.
I mean, think about last week. Like, you look at the names of the guys who are, you know, under 30-1. Like, Seamus Power deserved to be under 30-1. You know what I mean? Like, coming in absolute garbage fucking form. But
terrible form.
Absolutely terrible. Like, I didn't think about him once. But if you think about the quality of golfer and his like resume, we probably should have thought about him. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I tweeted about this too. It's like it's such a tricky dichotomy, right? Because if you looked at any numbers this week, the only takeaway, or last week, I should say, the only takeaway that you could have is that Seamus Power is downright lost with his irons right now. Like seriously, the worst ball striking run of his career by like a very healthy margin. He had lost on approach like 7 starts in a row, and it was getting worse before it was getting better. He had lost over 7 in his last start. Actually, him and Dietrich, if you look at the stats from like the Mallorca Open or whatever, both lost over 7 strokes ball striking in their last starts. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, fuck, man, is Seamus Power like one of the best 4 players in this field? Probably. Do I just need to throw everything out the window and just bet one of the best players in the field? And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Right. It's I fucking hate it, man. It's really irritating. Like it really is. Like I know Steve's been texting you like if what's his nuts won, like we quit.
Oh,
like,
if McCarthy won the show,
if Denny McCarthy won, I would have never done it. I would have quit. I would have quit. Like that's it. Like I would have never done it.
If 16-1 Denny McCarthy wins, what's the point?
What's the point? What's the point?
Burn it all to the ground.
Burn it all to the ground. I'll go full-time NHL and NFL betting. And what's the difference? Fucking, I don't get any more fucking 40 to 1s, 50 to 1s. I don't, maybe I'll still dabble in the first round league because that's like crack cocaine. But other than that, like, why am I betting fucking outrights? Like, why am I betting outrights if Denny McCarthy fucking 12 to 1 is?
I think we should make this a weekly bet where there's one golfer every week that you have to say we're at risk of ending the entire show if this guy wins.
Have you seen our?
It has to be 18-1 Mav McNeely.
It's absolutely 18-1.
It's absolutely right. So if 18-1 Mav McNeely ends this week, like it's done. Podcast is over.
The show's over.
We're done.
It's over.
That's it. Yeah, seriously, we will negotiate a sale of our assets to the Inside Golf Podcast. Like, get our winners together. So. All right, why don't we take a quick break, and then why don't we start breaking down DFS tiers?
All right, well, listen, I already told you guys about WinBet, but listen, if you guys are ready to win money and boost your odds, WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia, and we're bringing the excitement of Win Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips with Win Rewards on WinBet. And be on the lookout for the WinBet Win Hour. Each Thursday from 5 to 6 Eastern Time during the WinBet Win Hour, marquee games of the week will have better odds on WinBet to give you a larger payout opportunity. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WinBet.com. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WinBet has what you need to win. If you're ready to play, you go sign up today and receive a special offer. You bet 100 and you'll win 100. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. So they know we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer is subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And don't forget, the Sports Gambling Podcast on YouTube is giving you a chance to win your choice of either an autographed LT or Brian Dawkins jersey. And the contest is completely free to enter. All you got to do is subscribe to youtube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Comment on a video. Each video is a new chance to win. So turn on your notifications so you don't miss SGP contacting you when they pull the winner. That's a pretty sweet prize. Which one would you take? If you guys won, would you take the LT or Dawkins jersey?
Probably LT.
Are you really asking the Giants fans what they would?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, I mean, we're like, so I'm the oldest of the crew, and like, I don't remember LT fucking playing, and so like, I would take the Dawkins jersey because I remember watching him light motherfuckers up, and like, I really enjoyed his safety. Right. Like, he was a stud. Whatever. Like, I have no attachment to LT. I guess since you guys are Giants fans, it makes sense. But you never actually watched him with your own eyes. That'd be like me being like, I want the Bill Russell jersey versus the Larry Bird jersey. I mean, I'm old enough to remember. I'm old enough to remember LT. His last season was 93. And they made it was Sims in his last year. That was the first year I actually was aware of the NFL in 93. Yeah. So no, I
he's the greatest defensive player of all time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I want somebody who I've watched.
That's fair. I understand that point. Can I ask you guys, am I going to actually be eligible for this contest?
Yeah.
If I do it, because you not so fast. With my Golf Digest friends, they exclude me from their contest because I'm too good friends with them. So they're like, "Hey, we're giving away John Yo."
Because they don't want the trolls to be like, "Oh, you a friend won." We've had somebody on our network. I think somebody won the driver, right? The driver contest, and they were like, "Oh, this is rigged." We're like, "Fuck you, it's not rigged." Like, he entered the contest. Like, I'm not excluding somebody who followed the rules and did it. Like, we're not rigging it for anybody.
That's dumb. Yeah, if I win, I win. Deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Suck my dick.
All right.
Yeah. We're not exclusive.
Okay, good. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
You'll do what?
I'll do what is it? It's you subscribe to YouTube or something?
Nothing. You just missed the joke. It's fine. Anyway. All right. So, I mean, other than watching Griffin fucking just completely hit the ejector seat, I mean, last week sucked, right? I mean, last week sucked. We had what? Same thing as the week before. Fucking 3 hours of coverage a day, maybe if you're lucky. Just the PGA Tour. What are they doing?
Why can't they do this right now?
Yeah, I just
Are we
wanna
doing
add-
this, or do you want to do Mayakoba? Or are we doing this?
I don't
We
know,
can do
man.
this. You
Am I
guys tell me.
I think-
I'm
am
just
I-
along
am
for
I
the
gonna
ride.
get to watch? Am I gonna get to watch the tournament this week? Is it gonna be on fucking TV and ESPN Plus?
It's gonna be probably 3 to 6. There's no PGA Tour Live. There's no Shot Link. There's just
There's
kinda
no
what we gotta
ESPN. There's
deal
no
with.
ESPN Plus either. Like,
No, they're out of the country.
it's so annoying, man. It's so annoying. As somebody who like sweats Thursday bets, like it's
Yeah.
very fucking annoying. Especially with no shot link data. I'm literally just like some drunken asshole, volunteer is screwing up. Oh, he 3 holes in 1 in a row. I'm like, great. He's gonna be +5 the next time I go look. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like, I don't understand why they can't get their shit together. Like, I just don't get it.
So I think the PGA Tour's official line of reasoning on this is at Mayakoba, the Wi-Fi can be a little spotty because you're kind of in the jungle a little bit, and you need those tablets to basically do that. So I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a cost cutting move that they're basically want to save money. I think because they don't want to send the equipment over in order to do it. But
How much does it cost to fucking send equipment over? Like, it can't cost that much money.
it probably isn't. It's essentially just like a tablet and a laser. That's really
it's
all. It's
fine. This is Liv's problem now after this year, right?
It's true. It's
It
very
is.
true. It's very true.
They don't. Little does Liv know they're inheriting They're inheriting a venue with bunk Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have shot link or anything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I know.
Right.
It's so,
And the scores are kind of made up. So
What? Yeah, they're definitely
Right.
made up. And what does it Live give out for data? Like putts per round? Like, I don't even know what they do. Like, I tried to look like the first couple weeks.
Oh, you've been reading Dirty Mike stat articles. These
No,
are like
dude.
my favorite things.
No, so like I see you engage with these people, and I just don't know how you.
I
do
can't
it.
help myself.
I
Sometimes.
know. I'm like,
It's not healthy.
No,
It's not healthy.
It's
It's not healthy.
It's not.
It's not healthy.
It's
No,
not
but I
terrible.
get there are certain things that like genuinely upset me. Like one of them recently was Xander's name getting dragged again into rumors where it's like, yo, dude, I've been saying this on fucking podcasts for 8 months. I am not shooting from the hip here. Like I am friendly with multiple people directly in his camp. He is not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's not now.
Nope.
Right. So I know he's like a convenient name for you guys to throw out there. It's not fucking happening. It's
Yeah.
not fucking happening. He is the one guy where I can confidently say I have a legitimate beat on what's fucking going on there. He's not fucking going anywhere. And people still are like, if you read between the lines on this press conference that he did 8 months ago, like you never know. He didn't rule it out. It's like, yeah, he's saying the prudent thing that all golfers should say, which is it's a no for me, dog. But if I look around and 20 of the best players in the world go there, then yeah, I'm going to have to fucking reassess, which is exactly what Xander said. And he's been consistent from day one. Like, yo, it's a no for me, but the golf landscape is rapidly changing and I don't really have as much control over what others do as you probably think I do. I'm certainly not a ringleader in this. It's not for me, but if everybody goes, then I'll change my perspective, right? There's no value in them completely denouncing it because they don't know what's going to happen. And what's the upside in looking like an idiot if they're forced in 6 months to go because everybody else fucking goes, which I don't think is going to happen, but you can't rule it out. Right. So I've just recently his name started getting dragged again. And today. Today.
It was in
and I
the
was
Guardian.
like, it's like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
First of all, how does the Guardian always get these like random fucking stories? They seem like they not just live.
Well, they're
not.
I
just mean in
stories.
general. You know what I mean? Like fucking like they randomly break news. I'm like, the Guardian. How's this fucking paper in London getting some random story about a sports team in New York? Like this, how are they the first ones to break this shit? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But Andy, I'm just gonna let you know I am gonna clip that just in case.
In case Xander goes. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's not some possibility down the road in 6 months. He is not going to be in the next rave, and he is not a ringleader. Is there going to
be another wave?
Who can say?
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, like I don't know. I mean, like whatever. Like both sides to me. I'm at the point now, like where it was like election time, right? Where I'm just so sick of fucking both sides. that the whole subject fucking irritates me. Like I almost muted Liv at numerous points on Twitter. Like I just can't fucking deal with it. Like I don't care enough to have a take on either side. Like it's too much. It's everybody's dug in. There's no change in minds. It is what it is. Like this is the shitty golf gambling world we live in now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have no inside info on anything. This is just gut call. I think they will get some other players. I don't think it's going to be any of the top 20 or whatever they were that basically went to that Wilmington hotel and just made like a handshake agreement.
Also, if you're going to live, why do you go right after their $50 million team championship?
Yeah, so dumb.
Well, I mean, maybe they get some of the Europe Tour players because that tour is
nobody cares about them. Nobody cares about Euro Tour.
Well, I mean, you're looking for names. I think it's some of those guys, and maybe some middle of the road PGA Tour players. Because I mean, I think that's where you might be able to cherry pick is the middle class because they're not going to get the top 20 money that some of the other guys are going to get. They're going to get a bunch more on live. Maybe they see it as an opportunity to just go over.
I mean, how much of those the bottom end PGA golfers are so fucking upset watching Pat Perez make so much fucking money. You know what I mean? Like not like the guys that we, like when we go like dumpster diving in DFS, like the $65 guy. You're like, fuck, I could have been Pat Perez. You know what I mean? Like doing nothing and making fucking millions other than hitting on random people at like Topeka bars trying to get threesomes.
And he only
shout out Scott.
He got lucky because he was in Phil's circle in San Diego.
Yeah.
So like Phil lobbied for Pat Perez to get it. Pat Perez, like you said, like you just pick any guy out of a lineup. You just sub Tyler Duncan in for him or Ryan Armour or any one of these guys. Yeah. And Pat Perez walks away from 2022, what, $10-15 million richer, $50 million richer. And it's all because, you can't say that Phil doesn't help out his boys.
That's true, man. Listen, it's who you know, right?
Yeah.
That's how the world works, but regretfully, even in pro golf.
All right. Let's get to Mayakoba.
Mayakoba.
I know, Capper, you've been stalling because you're on.
Because I don't know shit. I told you, I've been in fucking iPhone stores all fucking day trying to get my service back. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, whatever. Like, it's fine.
Okay. Why don't we start right this out?
I like to shoot the shit. This is another garbage tournament, top heavy. I know you guys are semi-excited about it, but it's going to turn into the same shit. It's going to be 22 under. It's going to be the top guys at the top and whatever. Like, we're going to have to.
Well, then why don't we try to figure out which one of the top guys is going to be?
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So why don't I turn it to Andy Lack here? So it seems like I'm going to guess Hovland, Finau, Aaron Wise are probably going to be chalk about $10,000. I mean, Finau has been. All three have been really good at Mayakoba. Finau hasn't played since the President's Cup. You wonder about some, maybe some course runs there, but Hovland's been playing pretty well. Aaron Wise has been playing pretty well. Of those chalky options, I guess which one maybe do you like the best?
I'm going to write in answer C. Colin Morikawa is the play, obviously. Colin is obviously the play. I mean, listen, I think that the arrow is pointing big time up with this guy. I mean, we got a pretty vintage Morikawa ball striking performance at the CJ Cup. Now, the reason why he's properly valued in this field is because he finished 30th at the CJ Cup because he lost 6 strokes putting. Well, you could say, well, that's an obvious concern with Morikawa, but the reality of the situation is he lost 8 strokes putting the week before he won the concession, right? So I don't really see a ton of concern in Morikawa in terms of the putter, given the fact that he generally experiences, compared to other PGA Tour players, like there's a lot more variance involved. It flip-flops with him a lot more than it does with other PGA Tour pros. I find his putting metrics to be a lot less sticky than some of the other PGA Tour pros. So no concerns about his putter, especially you could probably even make the argument that Pass Palm is a surface that maybe neutralizes some bad putting, right? So for me, it's Morikawa at any ownership. I think he's going to win. I bet him to win.
All right.
I think he wins this week. But of those options, I really like Aaron Wise this week, but I think the 10.2 price tag is really interesting. I think if Aaron Wise was 9.6, he's maybe the highest owned player on the slate. Are people still going to pay up for him at 10.2 when you have the clear big four? And, there's kind of this then notable drop from Finau to Wise. Do people think that there's only a $200 difference between Finau and Wise? I generally like playing guys that are a little bit overpriced because that generally translates to lower ownership. So I like Wise this week a lot. I'm not betting him at 20-1, but if the ownership comes in lower than we expect, then I would pay up for him.
I mean, you would think it's definitely going to come in lower, right? Because it doesn't matter what price Tony's at, doesn't matter what tournament Tony's at, doesn't matter anything. Tony always gets ownership, and you're right. He's priced up. It's a tough stomach, like at 10-2. So I bet you Wise comes in low. I bet you that's a nice pivot play up there. I mean, I'd rather play Wise than fucking Billy Horschel and the putting god Montgomery. And
I hate Montgomery.
No, I know.
hate this guy. This guy's such a pain in my ass.
Oh, I know. Steve has many attacks. Apparently, he's the best putter in the goddamn world. I got at least.
He just keeps doing it. I don't know why.
It's such a pain in the ass.
It is.
It's such a pain in the ass.
It's like
I'm never gonna play that guy ever. I'm never gonna play that guy, and it just keeps fucking happening.
Saturday, 5 a.m. I get a text. I'm not up at 5 a.m. I wake up and Saturday. I look at my text on a Saturday. It's like fucking 5:15 in the morning, and Steve's ranting about fucking Montgomery fucking draining all his butts from all over the place. I love waking up. That's the first thing I do. I don't do check news or anything. I just open up my text. Let's see what Steve was mad about at 5 a.m. today.
Yeah, he can't keep getting away with this. So can we go back to Morikawa for a second though? Because I agree. It's vintage ball strike. Even at the Zozo, like there was no stats, but like I think he was like top 20 in driving accuracy, like top 15 like greens regulation. Here's the only thing though, is like we've been saying this about Morikawa basically since the Masters. He's had a lot of vintage Morikawa performances where just all right, awesome with approach, awesome off the tee. And yet it's still only translated to 2 top 10s since the Masters. So I guess like I don't know, like I want to get there with Morikawa too, but like, is the putter like so bad now that like in a tournament where it's going to be, I'm not saying he's going to get cut, but like the cut line's going to be like -4, -5 when he score low 20s, like T20 is probably like 14 under or so. Like, is that a little bit concerning?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's part of the risk that you incur. I am not of the belief there is like a hot button narrative in the industry of like, oh, can this guy subjectively get to 20 under par? Which is like, I just don't really believe. I just think it's completely subjective. I mean, he won the world.
Unless it's Matthew Fitzpatrick, he cannot get to 20 under.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like he won the work. He won the workday at 19 under par.
Wasn't 20.
I'm talking about Morikawa. It wasn't 20.
He did.
No, but Steve, you're right. I also do think that not every single week on the PGA Tour I talk about this a lot with courses like Torrey Pines, where I think that at a course like Torrey Pines, like John Rahm and Rory McIlroy just start on second base. Like they just have a built-in advantage before anyone tees off based on the skill set that they have. You could say the same thing about Bay Hill. You could say the same thing about Muirfield Village. I think there are a fewer courses where a player like Morikawa starts on second base. And I think this is one of them. I think that there is a severe penalty for wayward driving at this course. I mean, if you are in the mangroves, like you are not hitting the green in regulation. You're probably taking a penalty stroke.
Yeah, it's
right.
Sad.
And the fact that Morikawa remains, even in a down year last year, one of the most accurate drivers of the ball in the world and one of the best iron players inside 150 yards in the world. I think that really fucking matters on this course. It really matters. I mean, 10 of the par fours measure under 460, right? So Morikawa is now getting to a course where there is a real penalty for wayward driving, and he is going to have probably upwards of 50% of his shots inside 150 yards on approach. And he's coming off a great ball striking week. Like, I think the course fit matters here with Morikawa. And I think I would probably be less inclined to be so high on him if I wasn't so high on the course fit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I also come at it from, I'm pretty jaded on Morikawa because I bet him as Zozo. And I'm like, okay.
Same.
Yeah.
Then I went back to him last week at CJ. I'm like, all right, because I looked at the rudimentary stats. I'm like, all right, he hit the ball great. Like, did not putt very well. Let's give him the CJ Cup. And did the same thing. It was great ball striking performance. T29 finish. Like, that's in an 80-man field. It's basically about middle of the road. So, I don't know. The good news for you is that anytime I give him Morikawa, that's when he hits. So
that is a fact.
It's a bona fide fact. So congratulations early to you. I am not on Morikawa this week just because I've been burned once many times. And I just, for whatever reason, just, it seems like I've, for the last couple months, so I've been Morikawa a lot. Like, all right, the ball striking's there. We just waiting for the putting week. I think I'm just getting tired of getting kicked in the nuts on it. And if this is the week that happens, then this is the week that happens. Like, I think I'm just done going down that road of just.
That's fair. That. So who's your guy at the top then, Steve?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, I like Wise. I actually like Wise a lot this week. One of the things I found, just, obviously he's got really good history here. Hit the ball really bad at Shriners, but bounced back with CJ Cup. So I don't really have any concerns with the iron play. I think just what's going to get over the top for him is just like, now he actually shows up to the Mayakoba, actually a good putter. And that seems like that's the difference between like,
because he cheats now. That's it.
Because he has the long putter.
I fucking hate those things. That is cheating. It's a fucking it's a centimeter away from your chest. It's a centimeter away from your chest. It makes me so, I hate it.
I'm with you on that one, Capper. I don't like it either.
Oh,
yeah. So, I mean, listen, obviously good course history here. Hit the ball pretty well at the CJ Cup. He's starting to putt. I mean, this is now a long-term trend now. And I noticed that guys, either you were a good putter coming in or you were trending up. That usually the difference between like a top 10 and a win. Maybe that's what gets him to the top this time. And, I mean, obviously really good from under 150. I've been starting to calculate a little bit of scoring stats from under 152. And those aren't as good, but it's long-term data. I think it's because he's not a very good putter. He's not converting. Now that he's actually, a good putter, maybe you could convert there. Kind of like him. Kind of like Horschel too. Doesn't seem like he's going to be all that popular.
He will not. Yeah.
I mean, listen, he played well at the CJ Cup. Great course history here. Pretty good under 150, and actually is one of the better scores under 150 as well, because he actually is a good putter. That's another guy who just is going to keep it real nice and straight off the tee. I like him. So
didn't we make a pact before the fall swing? We weren't going to bet for or against Billy Horschel anymore.
Hey, things change, buddy.
It's been like fucking 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Whatever.
He was good. He looked really good at the CJ Cup.
He was a lot better than I thought he would be. He looked good. And
I'm sticking to my pact. Okay. I'm sticking to my pact. I can never get him right. Whenever I bet on him, he loses. Whenever I bet against him, he makes every fucking 25-foot putt.
Good. Stay far away.
So who's your guy then, Capper, at the top?
I mean, I refuse to back Wise because he cheats. And I mean, I really think what has golf been telling us lately? Just keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid, fucking like take the obvious play, the chalk fucking hits. Give me Hovland. Like he plays very well on pass palm, coming in good form. Don't nuke it. Don't overthink it. Just take him. Like golf betting is now easy, apparently. Like you just take the guys at the top of the board and they come through.
When's the last time someone...
Go ahead, Steve.
I was wondering, when's the last time someone won 3 straight?
That's a great question.
I mean, besides Tiger.
I thought about this morning and I was like, this is going to take like 20 minutes of research. And I was like, I'm good. I'm just not going to do this. Not going to effort this. I was curious about it too, because I thought I had that same thought this morning. I was like, this would be something interesting to add as a tidbit in my article. This takes like 20 minutes of research. Like I'm just going to not
never mind
right now. But no, and I will say this to you, Capper, also, like, I don't think that Hovland is going to be the overwhelming crazy chalk that maybe you would expect, because I think Hovland is going to be the oh, Hovland's and then the guy who's like the most obvious play that everyone thinks is going to be the obvious play. Everyone tries to get, like, I think Morikawa will get ownership this week because I think there's going to be people that are going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to like Hovland, like I'll do the hipster thing and take Morikawa. Right. So I don't think Hovland will be crazy. I think he'll be high, but I don't think it'll be upwards of 30%. Final question before we move down. Like, are we just sleeping on Scotty Scheffler?
So here's another thing. Yes, so he's kind of having the Morikawa issues where it seems like since like the
putter's been bad.
Open, putter's been awful. And that's why he had that kind of hot streak last spring and last winter, because the putter was just nuclear and it's really regressed. And I mean, I know watching the Open Championship, I remember I had a bet on him and he could not make anything on Saturday and Sunday. In the CJ Cup last week, he couldn't really make anything, I think, on Thursday. It's just, and I know the final round of the Tour Championship, again, I had sent on a 6-stroke lead with that outright, and he couldn't make anything on Sunday.
You guys think I'm the vulgar, like angry, loud one? Just if I could give you a peek into the text between me and Steve. Steve is like,
I was so pissed.
Steve gets spicy for sure. I can vouch for him.
I'm like, I open my phone, I'm like, ooh, shit, I wouldn't even say that.
I say my best takes for you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep. So, all right, we done with 10,000. We move down to
we don't have. We can just kind of keep it. I mean, we don't have to break down every range, right?
Okay.
Like
all right. All right. I mean, why don't we just go from 8,000 to 9,600?
I got a question for Andy. Because I was on Twitter for 2 hours today before somebody ported over my phone, and then my number can't transfer or some bullshit. So I've been in no internet hell for all day. But I saw Todd like fucking 5 to 6 times this morning. Is it
is that a thing this week? I'm
asking you. You haven't been on Twitter either. Well, this is gonna
not really. I generally will get that stuff from Brian, but I've just been running around all day that I haven't gotten a chance to ask. Like Brian, who are the guys that everyone's chatting about? Yeah. I will check in tonight later. But Todd is interesting to me. I like Brendan Todd. I don't know if I like him at 9K. Okay. I think that like if you had asked me who's going to be higher priced, Todd or Kuchar, if we're talking recent champions, I would have said Kuchar actually.
Really?
But I think I would have said Kuchar would have been. I do my own price. I think.
But Kuchar's been like fucking 45. Like he had a run like I feel like it was a year ago at this point.
No, he's been a little better than that lately.
He's been a little bit better. No, I mean, listen, they're one in the same. I have them in the same, very same category. Yeah, I'm surprised that Brendan Todd is 9K. Has that been more of like a betting card thing, Capper?
I think
that you've seen.
I think
like he's just on a lot of betting cards at what? Was it 50 to 1?
50 to 1. I saw a couple. I think I saw House Money said the easiest bet of the week was Brendan Todd top 20. And I was like,
oof, eyeball emojis there. Yeah, I'll check in with my boy House.
Yeah, House is good, man. Yeah, he's a good
I love
guy,
me some House.
Yeah, he's fucking funny, man. He goes on these random rants and diatribes on
he's
Friday.
Good stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that, and then I saw him on a bunch of betting cards, and I'm like, what? Like, I get it, I guess, but like, are we really getting that excited about because he has a cool nickname, Todd Father? Like, I don't know.
I actually like the guy right below him a lot more. I'm a big Brian Harmon guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Fucking why?
Well, I think he's generally like underowned based on like his ability to finish top 5, and I think I think he is the requisite tools to like play well at this course. And I don't think he's going to garner a lot of ownership.
He's not. So if the ball's going to stop, he's short off the tee, right? And he's good. Mm-hmm. He's a good.
Yeah,
he's
but
a good iron.
This is a short course, though.
It's a short course. Yeah, I'm taking accuracy over distance here 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So here's the only concerning thing about Harbin is
he's a pixie.
So his past problem history is actually primarily Mayakoba, and he hasn't finished better than T26, and that was in 2012.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, like I know we talk about past Paul. I'm like, this isn't the grass that like these guys see a whole lot. Is it possible that he just doesn't like it?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. I'm definitely going to play guys this week that aren't checking that box, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, because otherwise, I agree with you. Like, he should be a fit for this place. Like, accurate. Like, you know, his proximity rates are kind of okay, but he scores pretty well because he's generally just a good putter. But yeah, for whatever reason, has not translated here, and he kind of has been like the same guy. I don't know, because I looked at him, I was confused too. I was like, why isn't Brian Harman better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you guys, who do you think between like 9.6 and 8, that range that you talked about, who do you think are the guys that are going to be the most chalky? I have my opinions, but I'm curious if I'm on the same page as you guys.
I mean,
like, give me like the 1 or 2 guys that you think are going to be most popular.
Grillo.
I'll give it to you. You go first.
Yes.
Yep.
Grillo, because he's really good here, and he has a bunch of good finishes this fall.
Yep. Totally agree.
I think Dietrich, because he's been really good and he's kind of the hot new toy. He played, second last week, coming off a hot finish. I think he's gonna be popular. I can see Tom Hoagie being popular, who actually I like this week.
Yeah, me too.
Because great wedge player, great under 150 yards, one of the better scores, and actually kind of like Aaron Wise, like now he's actually putting better. So I like that trend coming in. But although, like, I mean, his overall Mayakoba history is not that good, but he's got a 3rd place finish, so I've at least seen a ceiling with him.
I can get behind Hoagie on outright this week.
I think those are going to be.
I love Hoagie this week.
I can get behind Hoagie on outright this week.
Yeah.
I think those are going to be the most popular. Maybe a little bit of Putnam just because he played.
What about Henley?
Henley's been bad.
Let's talk about that. I want to talk about Henley with you guys just to corroborate what you're saying, Steve. I agree with you completely. I think that Grillo and Hoagie are going to be quite popular. I think they are a very easy second man in, even if you're playing Scheffler or Hovland at the top.
Yeah.
I bet both of those guys, knowing that there was a potential that I would fade them in DraftKings, which if they are close to 20%, that's definitely the route that I will go. But I bet Hoagie outright at 30 and Grillo outright at 40. Okay. On Henley, I'm so curious about this one because Henley's such a interesting like test case to me in like the DFS landscape. Let me ask you this question. Is anyone blinking this week if Russell Henley's 9,500? Like, no. Henley is like the guy that they always price up. He's the type of guy that even in this field, they'll make 22-1. DraftKings freaking, I don't know what he has on DraftKings.
No, it's not what they have on DraftKings. Is that all these Henley fucking model fucking people?
The model. He is like the classic, like good stats, bad results. The stats do not translate. No. But he's 8,400 and 60-1 this week. So that I think you could make it like when I did my pricing on Sunday night, I had him at like 9,300. That's what I thought he was going to be. Okay. So at 8,400, I'm curious to see if he's going to garner ownership, and I might be there. I think the price is fair on him.
I think the price is definitely fair on him, and like the difference between people with scat tissue who stupidly bet Henley to win fucking tournaments is right. I don't have that because I know he's not going to win. But at 8,400 in DFS, I don't need him to fucking win. And if he's fucking 8 to 10% owned, then all fucking day, all day.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you as far as like kind of like with the argument Brian Harman, like he's got the tools to do well here, but also like Brian Harman, kind of not doing on past column.
Yep.
So again, like this is a different type of surface. Maybe the ball sits a little differently on the fairway that just doesn't sit well with him. I don't know. Like because again, like cookie cutter template, accurate, good with the wedges. I mean, he's basically Morikawa with a putter right now. I think that's what's been holding back a lot of his results. But yeah, I don't know. That's another befuddling one to me. But I can definitely see him drawing ownership because people just say, "Oh, my bottle says good ball striker, and he's good under 150." I haven't been paying attention to the results. Like I'm just going to take him. And I think the price is pretty fair on him. There's some things you got to close your eyes on him, and just pick. But I think if he's going to be popular, definitely I don't think I really want anything to do with him. But if he's drawing under, if people are ignoring him, then yeah, I guess I can close my eyes and go to it because he does have like base play things I can rely on, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay.
I think that's a good point.
Let's see.
Anybody else?
All right, here comes my gross pick.
Okay.
Hi.
Jason Day's been playing really good.
Oh, fucking stop it. Jesus.
I have like no room for this guy. I just
stop it.
I hear you. Like, I just like, I'm just so done. Like, it's just like, dude, come on, man. This is, go ahead.
Okay.
I just like, people have been trying to make him a thing for so long. It's just like, yo, dude, like,
He likes Disney World. He likes withdrawals. And
okay. All right. So his last three
make
results.
the case. Make the
All right.
case.
Plus 1.7 per round on approach at Fortinet, plus 1.3 at Shriners, plus 1.2 at CJ Cup. Gain over a stroke at Shriners off the tee, gain 0.6 at CJ Cup. Actually, one of the more accurate guys in that field too. He hasn't been putting all that great, at least the last like 6 months or so. Listen, going back long term, proximity numbers look bad because he just was a really bad iron player. If you just look at this fall under 150, he's averaging about 18 feet per shot. It's one of the better clips in the field. Now he's not scoring because I think that mostly has to do with the fact that he lost 2 strokes per round at Fortinet and got cut. He only gained a little bit at Shriners. Both of those are golf courses where there's a lot of shorter approach shots. So if he wasn't scoring at those from those ranges, that's probably why he isn't showing very well there. But finally putt well at CJ Cup. I know just in general he's a good putter. He's only played this tournament once. He got cut, but he has a couple decent finishes on past Palm in his career. I don't know, man. I mean, we kind of have seen it with Jason Day where he kind of goes on these like 3, 4, 5 tournament runs and then he fades away because he usually gets injured. I don't know. And no one's on him this week.
In fairness, I did not realize that he was that good at the CJ Cup.
Same.
Yeah, he
So
finished,
that's-
I think, he finished,
Same.
Yeah.
T11 at CJ Cup, T8.
It's a good field. I see what you're saying. I think he is a guy that I feel has been riding a lot on name value where he gets like even the smallest signs and they put him close back up there to close to the top of pricing. What I don't think that he has done enough to deserve it, but I hear you. I'm looking at those numbers too, and they're good.
The DFS number at $9,200 is not great, but I mean the outright market, he's like 50 to 1, and he's what?
Yeah,
DraftKings $200 less than Mac McNeely, who's 18.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I think for DFS, I mean, listen, like I don't love the price. The ownership is not going to be there. Yeah. I guess I can build a world, and this is a silly world, where I know just in general, last couple of years, Jason Day tends to get hot for a couple tournaments in a row. And usually when the irons get hot, I see actually decent numbers with under 150. He's just not scoring, converting because he hadn't been putting all that great. And some of the tournaments where you have a lot of more of those shots, finally turned it around at CJ Cup. I don't know. I can see it.
So you are now responsible for the text that I will be sending you about Jason Day sucking when I inevitably stick him into some of my DraftKings lineups now.
That's fine.
Good job selling him, but just know that the angry text will be coming.
Well, and the case too, the case too that you're making part of the built-in case, at least for this show, is that he's going to be really low owned. I will literally play like a fucking zombie at low ownership.
I know you will, Andy. Andy's like, I can't go past 32% ownership combined. Everybody's got to be fucking 3% or lower.
And so he's on my radar now. He wasn't, and now he's on my radar. I'm not going to commit to anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's either play like 25% Emilio. It's either play like 25% Emilio Grillo or like Brendan Todd or Jason Day at basically like sub 5%.
Sub 5. God damn it, Steve. What a case you made.
It's a good case. It's a good case.
That's what we do. Other than that,
God damn it.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm gonna bet and play Jason Day now.
God,
you know how this works for me. This is like why do you do shit like this?
All right. I mean, I think the only other thing I want to say is I don't think anyone in this field has more experience on Paspalum than Thomas Dietrich does, just because of all the Euro Tour stuff he's been doing.
such
Like,
a dick.
And Corrales, he's a
him.
big Corales guy.
I mean, like it's like a bunch of top 40 finishes there. It's like respectable, but like I think he has. Hold on, let me pull up the Thomas Dietrich stuff.
So he's talking about Day and now Dietrich for me, knowing damn well I'm getting on ship on Wednesday.
All right, so like,
and I won't be able to do anything. I'll ship these bets Wednesday and not be able to see anything.
All right, so in his career on Paspalum, he's only been cut twice in about like 22 tournaments. T15 at Corrales, T9 at the Ralzo Kaima Championship at I think Al Mouj Golf, T13 at Corrales, T6 at Saudi, T11 at Counter Masters. It's listen, he like, I mean, we talk about with this grass, it's not a grass that these guys see a whole lot on the PGA Tour, and he's seen it a whole lot, and he's got some decent finishes there, and he's playing well. Like, I understand the ownership is going to be pretty high on him, but
maybe what about a top 5 plays?
You can go that option. I mean, I didn't bet him outright, but there's a lot of things I like just based on his history on this particular surface, and it's a very extremely small sample size. But in the fall, he's been hitting his wedges pretty well and actually converting because he's actually putting pretty well. So if that continues.
Does Dietrich have his CAD?
Yeah. He got it through Corn
right?
Ferry.
Corn Ferry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because I was like, all right, so is he one of these guys who obviously everybody wants to win? That's bullshit. Like obviously, but like somebody who's like close and actually good who thinks they can win a tournament. Like,
no, it's not outright for me this week, but I think he can continue the good form.
I might go back out. I might go back out. I couldn't get there at 20, but he's like 50 on my local 52.
It's just another immaculate case from Steve.
This is what he does. He just makes me. I think he does this on purpose, knowing exactly what I'll do, so he can. I think like he doesn't watch a lot of TV.
He knows your weak spots.
Yeah, I do. And he doesn't watch TV or movies. So I think his entertainment is my stream of consciousness between Thursday and fucking Sunday, yelling about golf on the
that and going through a deep dive of European Tour courses with Paspalum, which I got a couple more coming down the pipe.
God. All right. Well, if that's coming, let's move on. What else we got? Let's do the whole 7,000 range. Fucking. Who do we think is going to be chalk? Who's not? Who's a definitely stay away? Who are you interested in? Start with Andy.
Who do I think is going to be chalk?
Yeah. Is it going to be chalk? There might even not be chalk. There's a bunch of guys down here.
I will say something that I've noticed a little bit recently is that I think the industry is improving in terms of like the groupthink surrounding lower price guys. You don't see groupthink formulate as much around guys in the 7s or guys in the 6s that it used to. We just I track this every week, and we haven't seen a lot of like disgusting 7K chalk or disgusting 6K chalk as much recently. And I think people are starting to come to their senses around that. I think Hayden Buckley will be very popular just because I know that he really stood out to me, and I don't think what I'm doing is all that different than what other people are doing. And I know at least the people that read my Rick Run Good articles are going to definitely have some interest in Hayden Buckley. I bet him at 80-1. I don't think he'll be like disgusting chalk, but I think that there will be a bit of a Buckley hive this week. Justin Lauer's been playing great. He's somebody that I think will garner some ownership. Lee Hodges has been playing great. Adam Long is a giant course history guy. And then the last two guys I'll mention, I bet you there's a Joel Damon thing this week. I can just see it.
He's got a cool hat, bro. He's got a cool hat.
Yeah, I can just see like he's gonna be the. Have you guys seen Joel Damon pass ball straight? I can just see he's gonna be the guy down there that people love. And then Russell Knox has like pretty incredible course history as well. That I think that there will be course history truthers that will blindly plug in Long and Knox. But I think Damon and Buckley and maybe Lauer would be my best guesses of the guys that garner the most in this range. What about you guys?
All right, so let me ask you guys this, right? So, like, I was on Lauer for no particular reason other than going through models, and like, Lauer's been a guy I bet. I played DFS for months, and now
Elite wedge player.
right,
Elite wedge
right.
player. Yeah.
But now he's getting talked about by everybody. It's like when you know a band that's local and all of a sudden signs to a deal. I'm like, no, not playing him anymore. Fuck that.
I know
shit.
that feeling.
I was on him before it was cool. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
I know that. I share that with you with many guys.
It's the worst. Like, because
Yeah.
I still want to play the guy, but I'm like, well, now that he's chalk, like, no, I can't fucking do it. Like, why? It's so fucking frustrating.
It's like, yo, you guys don't realize that I invented Justin Lauer. Like,
Exactly.
I invented him. Like, listen, you want to play Justin Lauer now? Like, get in line, buddy.
Yeah.
This is my guy.
This is mine. His mom and dad got nothing to do with it. I invented this.
Invented Justin Lauer. Yeah, I don't think he'll be crazy capper. I don't think like he'll be above 15, but I think he might be low double digits, which is probably a lot based on
for him.
who's the guys he's priced around. Yeah.
What about Riley's not going to be chalk? The Riley fucking fan club?
No,
Dude.
He hasn't been playing well enough. I like Riley this week. I'll play Riley, but he hasn't been playing well enough.
Yeah, I mean, the iron numbers look really good. Proximity-wise, they're really good. He does not score from that range, though. He doesn't convert for whatever reason.
I'm just saying, it seems like to be a Riley cult on golf Twitter.
I don't think it'll be there this week. It's a what have you done for me lately week, and I think people are, they're moving on.
Whatever, half of golf Twitter bet that skinny kid from whatever that golf channel show was at 225-1 because
Akshay.
There's
there's some
Akshay Bhatia.
There's some stuff. Did he make the cut? I don't know. There's some stuff
he did make the happens.
Cut. There's some stuff that happens that I'm just like, yo, I'm happy for you. I respect you. Like,
what are we doing?
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Like, just like go for it, man. Like, it's not for me, but just go for it, man. If that's your thing, go for it.
I saw more pictures of that kid last week than I'd seen fucking Rory in the last 3 weeks. I was like, what is happening on my timeline? I'm not fucking betting this dude. What's happening? We can't will this kid to victory, guys. It can't happen.
No, we certainly can't. We certainly can't.
So who you like down here, Steve?
I mean, Justin Lauer, I mean, the ownership is going to be a little high for him, but I liked him last week, so
I know.
Might as well like him again this week.
Yeah.
I mean, again, really good elite, really good wedge player, scores from there too. Doesn't get too erratic off the tee. So I like him. I mean, I also kind of like Joel Damon, but I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of popularity in him. I mean, besides the past problem history, he has been hitting his irons a little better lately too, and he is accurate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see like in our, like that might be like a top 40 bet for me, because $7,200 for DFS, I'm going to guess probably the top 40 price, probably like plus 130, plus 140 ish. I kind of like that
me
range.
Too. I'm with you there. Yeah.
It probably will be that. I'm going to go back to Grayson Sig. I liked him again last week, played well, decent past column history. He's been playing good. I mean, some of his results on past column, he's got a T33 in Mexico, T25 at Corrales, T9 at Corrales again, T33 in Mayakoba. $7,300. I think we're just going to go back to him. I like that play. I mentioned going back to the Euro Tour. This is a little pricey. I don't love it for DFS, but Dean Burmester, when they had the Canary Islands swing on the Euro Tour last year, he finished at the Gulf Costa Andejo. What's it called? Adeje. Finished fourth, and for whatever reason, they played the same course 2 weeks in a row. I mean, it's a Euro Tour. I don't know what they're doing anymore. But he finished fourth, and then he won on past column.
They were still probably following strict COVID rules.
Probably. So, I mean, the iron play hasn't been all that good, but just because he's been really hot with the putter, he just is converting from under, anything under 150 and less. So, I mean, just success on past column. I've seen him win, seen some high upside. Doesn't seem like he's getting a whole lot of ownership. I like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about Aaron Rye? He was kind of the flavor of the week last week, and he was meh.
Yeah,
he's got some things you like. I mean,
I'll be there.
He's off the tee, hits his irons okay. I mean, under 150 doesn't seem like it's a strong suit, but
he's fine.
I don't know.
He's fine from there.
Fine?
I'm definitely fine to go back to him.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys were you done, Steve? Do you have anyone else?
Here's another gross pick.
It might be mine. I'm curious if it's mine. Go ahead.
So what do we always do when we see a little bit of form from Can Champ?
Oh God.
Okay, that wasn't my guy, but
I can see it.
I looked at him. I can see where
Yeah.
you're going with
So
this.
T9 is Zozo. I mean, it's kind of a pattern. I mean, now this was a couple weeks ago, but really good on pass Paolo. Like really good results.
Mexico,
You almost if Rom didn't bounce it off the TV truck on the left, like, and I had the fucking champ ticket in Mexico. I was
so for a bomber. So at Mayakoba, cut T10 T33 for a guy who kind of sprays it everywhere. Like that's pretty good results. T6 in Mexico, 8th place finish is Zozo. Like, and I think he's getting dirt cheap ownership too.
Yeah.
So I don't know that's probably only a DFS play. I don't think he's gonna be anywhere near my betting card.
Oh, I think he's a bet. I think you throw what's his number for an outright? Yeah, what's his number for an outright?
I'm with Capper. I probably like the outright more than as a DFS play.
Okay.
Champ.
All right. Well, then maybe you go that route then.
Yeah.
So, but that's another guy I kind of noticed. Like, I mean, listen, the stats look awful from under 150. Doesn't score there either. But if you just look at just like how his career has gone, where anytime he shows a little bit of form, and unfortunately, we don't have any stats from Zozo, so we don't know exactly how he did it. But like a T8 there, like, is that like his peak, or is he going to do it again?
Yeah.
So
you're right. It's like celebrity deaths with Game Champ. They come in like threes. It's like 2 or 3 tournaments in a row, disappears fucking forever, and then he starts to show it again. You don't,
and then like, I mean, you got Smotherman again. I mean, kind of a tough scene on the weekend, but
I made some money on
last week. You probably like him this week.
I made some money on the jock market, shorten them.
Right.
They finally allowed the shorten. I was so excited. I was like, I can't wait. Fucking just shorten everybody. Except they have like a big hold. Like you can't like.
Right.
You can't. It's not like it's not like really trading options because you're calling covered puts, which sucks. But
I mean, you could go back. You could do Nick Taylor because he's decent from under 150. Although his results are kind of meh. Or you just keep riding some of these Korn Ferry graduates like Robbie Shelton. I think he's got a T6.
I like Robbie Shelton. I
like
Robbie
him
Shelton's
too.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, Will Gordon was way up there, and that
I'm in. Yeah, it's so. Yeah. Here's the thing: Will Gordon was 15% at 8,700 this week, and everyone's going to hop off because he shot 73 on Sunday at a windy Bermuda, and now he's going to be 7K and 5%. What is the fucking logic in that? Yeah. What is the fucking logic? You were lining up to bet this guy. Yeah, you were lining up to bet this guy. I don't get it. Yeah. That is you are paying the rank in DFS if you're playing Will Gordon at 15% and then you jump ship this week. I love Will Gordon at 7.
So and then just a question, and then just like a general question, like I guess what do we make of SH Kim? Like he was really good, and the last week he was really bad.
Yeah, lukewarm.
I just don't know.
Maybe I don't trust it. Maybe I gotta wait for. Maybe that's the type of guy like you gotta maybe earn it a little bit, but I mean, seems like he's fairly accurate off tee. Like I know that like his drive accuracy numbers for the year is only 59%. It's pretty low, but I think everyone was missing the fairway at Sanderson. So of the Korn Ferry guys, actually decent. And he's just a really good putter. So can he get hot this week on Pass Palm? I don't know. So I don't know what to make of him though.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question that our buddy John asked me that made me blow my mind about Justin Lauer, right? When I was always in love with this dude, constantly fucking playing him. John just asked me, how many golf shots have you seen Justin Lauer take? And my brain fucking exploded because it was probably like 5, if that. And I'm in love. You know what I mean? Like if that. Yeah. So like how many golf shots have we actually seen fucking SH Kim?
Yeah. No, he was on the covers a lot at Shriners. He was in the mix.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
he was. He was in the mix. He was on a lot. I think he was a couple shots back down the back 9.
So like what? A partial coverage of one tournament? Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just bringing it up because it's like all of a sudden he's popping off the stats, and you know.
Well, I'm just asking a question. What is this guy?
So I'm asking it back. Like I'm like, what do I do with this information?
I'm posing another question, which is I can tell you the guy that's going to win the tournament, who's $100 more expensive than SH Kim, that you definitely have seen before.
Well, you already told me that
if it's not Morikawa, it's this guy.
Oh, is
All
it
right,
Justin Rose?
I'm gonna pose a question for you guys. Are we sure Justin Rose is bad? Are we sure?
Yes.
We're sure.
Yes.
You're going to play Jason Day at 9,200 and not Justin Rose, major champion at 7,300. How's 11.7 strokes gained putting at the PGA on Pass Paul? You like that? Twirler Steve, did you find that in your was that in your Pass Paul calculator? 11.7 strokes putting at Kiowa Island. Is that checked?
All right. Well, the last time we saw Justin Rose was at the BMW, and he withdrew, I think, with an injury.
He wasn't great, but if he's healthy, I'm assuming his long-term numbers.
Andy,
I still like.
How much money are you going to lose with Justin Rose? I've been hearing you talk about Justin Rose for a year and a fucking half.
I've been trying to will this one into existence.
This guy into fucking being relevant again. The last time
you make a valid argument for Justin Rose. I understand that.
He's just why hasn't he gone to live? He's just a fascinating test case to me. Like, what in the world is going on with Justin Rose?
The last time
I don't understand why he hasn't gone to live. I don't understand his playing schedule. Why is he playing this week? What is going on with Justin Rose?
He sold enough of the $30,000 a set. What were those clubs called? Homas? What the fuck was it called?
Hanma.
Right. He sold enough of those where he doesn't have to work anymore. The last time Justin Rose was good was January 6th when our Capitol was stormed, and he stole money out of my pocket for his stupid fucking -8 first round leader. Okay,
he almost won at Torrey Pines because I was there.
Torrey.
Yeah, I was standing there. He hit the ball in the water on 18 at Torrey Pines. He needed if he makes a birdie on that hole, he's in the.
And they didn't think he knew that. Right, that was when they didn't think he knew the score. I forgot.
Yeah, I was on him that week. I'm on him every week. So.
I know you are. That's why I said how much money are you going to lose on him.
Yeah, listen, he'll be 1%, and he'll be in a lineup or two.
Listen, Keegan hit for me a couple weeks ago. I'm almost even.
Yeah, man, you never know. You never know. Don't jump off before the miracle happens.
That's right. Got any dumpsters?
You want me to go first?
Why don't you go first, Andy?
Yeah, there are a couple guys I like in the 6K range. I really like CT Pan this week, like a concerning amount. Like I have to check myself on how much I like CT Pan this week. I bet CT Pan at 180 to 1. I have a weird Lucas Glover thing too. I'm going through this Glover thing that probably going to have to take a deeper look at. It's probably a me thing. Over the next couple of weeks. But, for all the reasons that we like Tom Hoagie on this golf course and like Russell Henley on this golf course, like Lucas Glover does a lot of those things really well and just can't putt. But yeah, he made the cut last week. We'll see. We didn't mention those are really the only guys that I currently have in my player pool in the sexes are Glover and CT Pan. We didn't mention Svensson and Suh in the very low sevens. I'm playing both of those guys as well. I love those guys, but the only two guys in the sixes are. Is he? He might be.
He hasn't done. I mean, he was okay at the CJ Cup. I will give him. That's like the best thing he's ever done.
He might be a Ponzi scheme. I can't rule it out. That's like a fair take. I don't know if I can disagree with you.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's about right. But Svensson's funny at 7,100. Like, nobody wants to play
Svensson has the tools of what you're looking for, as in like great with his wedges, like accurate. Again, though, just nothing on pass column.
Steve,
nothing.
He finished 45th here. So
okay, all right, okay, fair. I guess all right. That's a fair argument. If $7,000 you finish at 45th, that's a fair.
Yeah,
that's different than
if he scores.
Like Henley, that's different than like Henley $8,400 and like 45th. Like that. Fair argument. I'll give you that. So yeah, you know what? If you want to take a flyer on that,
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, okay. There are a couple. Like I just want to let everybody know. For those that have Ryan Armour and Tyler Duncan popping in your models this week, like those are Ponzi schemes too. Like I'm just letting you know, and I've been there. I have fucking been there with Ryan Armour. Is Ryan Armour's 3 in my model and he's 6,500. Like, I'm just letting you know, Ponzi scheme.
Okay. Let's see. Well,
maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do the Bernie Madoff golfer of the week.
Yeah, that's a good one. There are a couple. Look at me. I'm coming up with all these new bits.
These ideas.
We have the what? We got to find a name for the "we just end the show" guy.
Yeah,
too.
We canceled ourselves golfer.
Yeah, it's over. Maybe it's like the burn it all to the ground golfer. I don't know. We'll take submissions on that one. But it's Matt McNeely this week.
Matt McNeely,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the high on Morikawa, but like when I saw that he had the same odds as Colin, like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, his iron numbers are horrific lately. But I mean, Brandon Wu's pretty good on Paspalum in his career. Good in Mexico. I think he's got what else? I think he's good in Corrales. He scores well from under 150, which means I guess he's not putting himself in awful positions, even though the proximity irons aren't that great. So I can get there with that. He's also not all that erratic off the tee. So I can go there with him. Capper laughed at me for Nate Lashley last week. Respectable, I think, like T35 finish. Pretty good history on Paspalum. Now, not a very good history here, though. But again, like he's relatively decent with his short irons in his career. Those are usually like where he's had success. For $6,400. I don't hate that. I talk about Dean Burmester up top as far as the King of the Canary Islands. Well, the real King of the Canary Islands on the Paspalum was actually Garrick Higo, who finished 4th and 1st on that golf tournament. We've seen signs of life again. He finished top 5 at Sanderson, and he shot 7 under on Sunday at Bermuda. So listen, again, that's not a type of guy you'd really want to target here, like kind of what we talked about, but I mean, for this cheap, and I've seen him do it on this type of grass, I can get there with him. And then again, just like some of these other guys we've kind of been seeing on the Corn Ferry Tour, just keep the graduates keep riding. Like, Kevin Yu, Marty Dow, like Harrison Endicott, like a lot of these guys, and I know it's a small sample size, but generally been hitting their irons under 150 pretty well and scoring pretty well from those places too. Just keep riding and keep going to it until it fails. So, and I don't think they're really drawing a whole lot of ownership either, even though Kevin You'd play pretty well. Endicott had a top 10. Then you just keep going them until they fail.
It's fair.
I just hope my books will start giving me access to Harry Higgs matchups again, because I mean, the Twitter was last week or the week before when he had like a good Thursday, and then of course he came out and shat the bed on fucking Friday and missed the cut. And that used to be my immediate go-to bet. Like, whoever Harry Higgs was matched up against, I would just bet max.
Like, he stinks, doesn't he?
He does. And he seems like a cool dude. Like, love to go drinking with him. Like, obviously, like, whatever. But, yeah, he's just not good at golf. And they thought they had something with that after he made the, whatever the fuck it was, the hole-in-one. And in Phoenix, took a shirt off, running around with Diamond. And, He just stinks. And just please, God, give me a matchup this week with Harry Higgs.
Okay. All right.
I don't even know he's in the field, but yeah.
He is. Him, Andrew Landry's in the field. Richie Rorensky's in the field.
All the usual suspects.
Not great. Not
great.
Do we have
the big question I have is, are we done with Swan Kim? Like, you're just going to give him 2 rounds? He goes out and debases himself. It's like, who hasn't had 2 bad rounds in windy conditions? We're done with Swan Kim. We're not even going to give him like a fucking second chance. It's a dog eat dog world out here.
His
65. He's on the board of directors at the Butterfield Bermuda, and we're just going to kick him to the curb because he shot 90.
His 4-putt avoidance is actually pretty good. So I might want to consider him this week. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go down that road.
I got such a kick out of it, and like it is dumb. It is ridiculous. I'm with you. Like, I got a kick out of the outrage. I think the outrage went too far with it. But
it's not a good look for the PGA Tour.
No, it's not a good look for the PGA. It's not. But
it's also not such a
hilarious.
Yeah, it's objectively funny as fuck. Like, this guy doesn't give a shit. He loves it. He's out playing a PGA tournament. Like, Like, who cares? And then
Can
you're
I
right.
ask-
What always happens is like the outrage over something becomes intolerable as well. It's like, man, stop being so upset. Fucking breathe, man. Go jerk off. Get laid. Do something. Fucking, you need to take a breath. If you're this,
Can I ask you guys a question just because I'm trying to like get into Swan Kim's mindset? Because I got asked, like, do you think you could put up better scores at the Bermuda than Swan Kim? And I said, I think I probably could. I think
you
I
probably
could.
can.
You could.
So let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. If you guys got invited, I don't know what your local. We'll say for Capper, what's like a local. Well, the players is.
Yeah.
If you got an invite to play in the Honda Classic, just hypothetically.
Okay.
If you got an invite, like, you just like it came in the mail in one day.
Okay. Right.
And it's like, you can play in the Honda Classic.
Right.
Do you say yes?
No shot.
Probably not Honda.
Not Honda.
A lot of water.
Maybe that's a bad example.
I'm gonna shoot.
How about
do you get what I'm getting at though?
Yeah,
it's like Swan Kim knows he's not breaking 85.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not a lot of upside to get completely dragged for shooting like 90. You know what I mean? Like you're getting completely dragged for shooting 90. So it's like, I'm trying to think, if I got an invite to play it, what would be the upside? Because I'm not going to break 80.
But would you care?
Probably not. He's probably having fun out there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, who cares? Like he doesn't give a shit. He's having fun. He's having a fucking blast.
But you're saying it wouldn't be worth it for you. It wouldn't be worth it to say you've done it because you're going to shoot 100.
No, so I guess after we framed it that way, like, yeah, I just go fucking play. I just go play. I go play, like, whatever. Like, I would just like laugh. I'm like, of course I fucking shot 120. It's the Honda from the tips.
Yeah.
You guys have seen me golf. Fuck off. I got to go have fun, and look, I got to get into the awesome locker room. Like,
problem is, I don't think that would be fun playing PJ National.
Yeah, but whatever.
That does not seem like
all these courses in Florida want water on every fucking hole for whatever goddamn reason. Somebody in India is trying to change my Apple password. So talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out.
Why don't we go to outrights then? So we kind of talked a little bit about it tonight. Andy, why don't you go over what your betting card is right now as far as
my betting card's complete. I banged it out this morning. I am going Colin 18-1, Tom Hoagie 30-1, Grillo 40-1, Hayden Buckley 80, and CT Pan 180. Okay. That is my 5.
You love CT Pan too.
I do. I love CT Pan. He's my guy. Yeah. I'm a big CT Pan guy.
My passwords don't match because I was talking. Damn it.
All right. So I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm just going to keep riding the trend that just basically, I don't want to look past 50-1 anymore. And I always have an opportunity if someone who's more than that. You know, I mean, chances are, unless they're like leading the tournament by a couple of strokes, like you might be able to get double digits on them on the weekend if I really want to bet them and incline. So I'm just going to stop doing it. So everything's under 50-1. I only have 4 guys. I talked a lot about them tonight. I bet Billy Horschel at 20. I like the fact that he just has been great at this golf course, coming off a really good CJ Cup, one of the better scores under 150 just because he hits it pretty close. He can convert the putt. I like him this week. I bet Aaron Wise, and I'm a little ashamed at the 20, but I like the trend that he's been great here, and he finally has a putter, and that seems like that's what you needed in order to actually get over the hump. I think that's actually what's going to take this week, and I think he can do it. So Aaron Wise 20. I also bet Hoagie, by the way. Kind of along the similar vein is that I know he's a great wedge player. Finally, he's putting pretty well. Maybe that's enough to get him over the hump here. He has a top 5 finish, even though his overall history of Mayakoba is all that great. I've seen ceiling from him here. So I bet Hoagie at 30. And I know it's gross, but Jason Day at 50. I like what I'm seeing from him. I like the iron numbers. I like his form coming in. And I think if the putter got turned around at the CJ Cup, the fact he's in his iron so good, I think he can card a lot of birdies. So 50-1 on him. That's only 4. Anybody else I like past that, I'm probably going to cover with positionals that we'll talk about tomorrow. But yeah, that's it.
I can't wait till I come on. I can't wait to come on to tomorrow and have Jason Day in the top 10, top 20, top 40, every fucking match.
I told you, stay away from him.
No, but that makes me want to do it more.
Okay.
Because now if he hits, I don't know. So I'm definitely going to tell you guys. I don't have any outrights yet. But I just started trying to pull it up on my phone. So I'm definitely going to tell you guys on Hoagie because he's one of the first guys I thought about. I think I'm going to go back to Dietrich because I didn't want to bet him last week because the number was too short. The number's still kind of short for Dietrich, but was second. Short sample size for the pass ball that you just talked about, Steve. Like, I can stomach a 40 on him. And then I got to think about it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I like Andy's Morikawa argument, but I have a lot of scat tissue with that fucking guy.
Yeah, it's fair.
Can I say something that might get you off from Capper?
Mm-hmm.
Certain guy.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, we'll find them. Yeah, okay.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that. I don't know how much this says about me. I've been like pretty lockstep and step with him.
I've noticed.
The past couple of, yeah. Again, like maybe that's a look in the mirror situation.
I mean, listen, he hit Rory at the Tour Championship, so that wasn't that long ago.
There you go. Listen, I write my articles before his gets posted.
I know.
And then I see that Morikawa, huh?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
Andy's face is like, fuck.
Here's the thing, though. Both you guys make compelling arguments on Morikawa. Like,
listen, did you read what he had to say about him?
Yeah, I mean, he basically had the same thing as what you said. The ball striking has been there with him. It's a matter of if he can putt. Like anything like halfway decent with putting is like a gold mine for him. Just the problem is with Morikawa, like we never know when it's coming. Like there's no rhyme or reason. It seems like with Morikawa, like when it shows up sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of I'm done doing that game with him. And if I miss out, then I miss out. Like it's one thing that like if I miss out, like I missed out a concession at that 40-1 number. Like I was just killing myself because I bet him at Riviera.
Yeah.
I was so pissed myself. Like this is 18, 20-1. I'm like, you know what? I can live with myself that if I miss out, I miss out. But I understand what you're saying with him.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Like it.
TBD.
All right. So, TBD. All right. About pushing an hour and a half. Andy, give the people.
How is that possible with a Mayakoba? This has to be the longest Mayakoba pod.
That's
like
a fact.
anywhere.
You know, we even put like coverage takes on the back burner. We could have done 2.5 easy today. But you know, listen, we got to put the Bengals potentially in the mix for the Ponzi scheme award.
Yeah, of course, dude. The Super Bowl hangover. Super Bowl hangover is fucking real. The Super Bowl hangover is 100%.
I don't have the game on. I just clicked on the score. Holy shit.
Yeah, the Bengals have been submitted to the Ponzi
Cooper
scheme
hit is
committee.
over. All right, let's go.
So yeah,
my wife was like, how long is it going to be tonight? Because she was like chatty because we did like, you know, obviously everybody's giving out shots and stuff in the neighborhood with the trick or treating. She's like, I want to talk, and I was like, I got Andy on. It's going to be like maybe like at best I'll see you in like 2 hours.
Well, to answer your original question, my podcast, Inside Golf Podcast, it'll be out late tonight, early tomorrow morning.
That shows you weren't even listening because we stopped the question. The question was I was going to ask you, and then we got sidetracked. Give a recommendation of a TV show or a movie to the.
I thought you said what you got. I'm so used to people asking me what you got going on this week. Did you actually not ask me that?
I did not ask you that. When hosts aren't listening,
I'm just trained to answer that question.
Start plugging. AP at Twitter.
Yeah, at Twitter. Actually, don't listen to my podcast. I'll give you TV shows instead. Have you guys been watching the Dahmer one?
Yeah.
I've seen on that. I haven't got into it yet, but
it's pretty. It's really good. It's pretty jarring though. It's kind of a tough gross. Hang. It's
it's one episode at a time.
Right. You kind of need like I think it's really good, and I'm gonna finish it. But you kind of need like a palate cleanser after each one. I don't think for me at least, it's not really like a bingeable
It's
show.
not a binge
Like
show. No.
I kind of watch it. I'm like, Jesus, I just feel like gross hanging out with that dude for an hour.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like
It's
it's good television. So that would be my recommendation of what I'm watching right now.
The palate cleanser is 100% right. It's definitely dark and heavy. And you weren't old enough to be around, but I was
For
like,
him.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, exactly. I think I was 8 or 9. And I remember reading like a Newsweek article. That's a magazine for people who are listening. That used to be a printed publication that came out that got sent to like doctors' offices and barber shops and things like that to keep people busy because we didn't have phones back then. And and I read a Dama article, and I would have nightmares about this fucking guy. Like I was 9 years old or 10 years old reading about.
He eats like human brains.
Yeah, I'm like, I would literally like be in my bed at night, like terrified that Jeffrey Dahmer was somehow going to make it from Wisconsin to fucking Brockton, Massachusetts, and murder me in my fucking bed, right?
Mm.
Like, just absolutely terrified of it. But me and my wife just watched it. Like, I think I got one left. You're right. You got to watch like Reboot or something like that on Hulu. To get rid of it because it's.
I watch I watch like U.S. amateur highlights from like Bandon Dunes to like restore my faith in humanity after watching.
Who won that? Tyler Strafacci? Did he win?
He's so bad.
Oh,
he's so bad.
He is bad. He is bad.
That was the thing that I was arguing with more with people. It's like, oh, James Pyatt won the USAM. Like, yo, James Pyatt's bad. Like, I actually think the last couple winners of the USAM have been pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I Strafacci's not good.
Mm-hmm. No, he isn't. Can I give a semi-related like?
You sure can. Everybody just tuned out when you guys said Strafacci.
All right, so I watched All Quiet on the Western Front, the Netflix movie.
Oh, yeah, is that good?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It is not a feel good movie though.
No, man, of course not.
What's
it? Big downer.
What's it about?
World War
I. It's basically exposing how awful and atrocious war is. And it does a very good job depicting that in the film.
Is it a documentary?
No, it's a film. It's got
it's based on there was a
the book,
the book in the film already. But I saw this, I queued it up, and my wife was like, I am not watching that.
It's Capper, you should watch. It's very good.
I'll check it out.
Grisly, and it's definitely not a feel good show or movie.
No, fuck no.
No, but it's good. It's very good.
Yeah, I have that coming up. I can't wait to watch that one.
Okay. All right. Well, I got nothing else. You guys got anything else?
I got nothing, guys.
All right.
I'm good. We got a betting show tomorrow night. You guys go follow Andy. He's fucking everywhere. He's always on Twitter. If you really want to get him going, make a Live Burner account and start tweeting at him. And other than that, he's got Inside Golf Podcast.
Tell me Xander's going to live. I dare you. Tell me, come at me and tell me Xander's going to live. I fucking dare you.
Act like some random night when I'm bored on a Wednesday at like 12:30 Eastern time after like 10 gin and talks. I'm not going to make 15 burners and just start engaging you.
Listen, he's going to fit in real nice on Ironheads, okay?
Yeah, and then he's on with Rick Gaiman, Rick Run Good. He's on 9 or 10 shows there during the week as well. He's got his writing over at Rick Run Good. Super good Wednesday article for DFS players, man. Goes down through like breaks it down, goes through ownership, if there's anything weather wise and things like that. He gets smug at times, especially if you have a player he doesn't think is good. Maybe it's personal, but it is what it is. Read it however you want. And then you guys can go find Steve as always on our Discord channel. And thank you. On our Discord channel. You can find me randomly on Twitter, more of a lurker than a poster, but I'm there. So feel free to tweet at me and I'll get back at you. Boston _Capper. Other than that, fucking let's go try to make some money on the fall swing, boys.